worse. So you've got to have someone that will need to redirect the ship, because it's heading towards like nowhere. So we need to change the ship, to turn the ship around. It will take maybe a tenure, maybe 4 years, before moving in the right direction. So that is the question you're asking me, whether there is anybody capable within the country. And I'll tell you there are, but you've got to test them first. Well, and, I mean, you also have to do one or two things. You say, have a charter with the people. I mean, if I'm interviewing prospective presidents in Nigeria, I'll say, okay, give us your charter like promises. 6 months, I need to fix this. If I don't fix this, come back to me. Unless there is like a force majeure or something like out of your control, you can't do it. Come to me and I'll either give you reason why I fail to do it, or I resign. Number 2, go to exchange rate economy. If you can fix it within 2 years, this is what I would do. Then that too, I've never seen it done before, but they do it.
What you're talking about here actually is,
I mean, like
targets.
Yeah.
And then, to have those targets, they have to be in a political
manifesto
yes, of that particular personality.
And it has to be a reality, not just
it has rubbish. To be realistic, workable. Yes, these are the preconditions for that target. But again, what you're looking here is actually, I think, with a good time to talk about it.
Yeah.
You need parties to be, the political parties themselves to be up to the game, for them to be able to formulate, workable plan to set targets and formulate that workable plan, and then to articulate it to the general public for them to say, look, this is what you said. You said that you are going to do this within 6 months. Now, this is not working, and you said you will will get this within 2 years, and this is a failure. That means you're not going to finish your 2 terms. Probably people will vote against it and try to see other ways of how. But this, to me, it looks like needing not only to form the structures and only the structures, but the whole setup and political mentality needs to be changed in order to achieve this. So this is a reform, which, as I kept on saying all the time, that the reform is down to commitment, political commitment. If you can get this,
no, but
the whole environment to change and to be something that is conducive to be in place, the commitment and those parties, the structures, the platform that these personalities work from. If you can get all that, bits and pieces together in a workable solution, I think that's where the hope rests for Nigeria and probably other African countries as well.
Yeah, but the problem I see is like the opposition parties don't do their work well. And if they happen to gain power, they will play the novice. Oh, we didn't know that things are so bad like this. But you've been in opposition for 4 years. What is your job as an opposition party?
Actually, should be the contrary, because you are in that position. You look at the empty side of the glass.
Exactly.
Leave it for the government to see the positive thing. But your way
is to pick close.
To see where it is going wrong, and then come and say in the parliament or whatever it is,
the legislative
assembly, and say, look, this is not working. This is wrong. And this again, see why. down to national, you need to have that sort of national, what shall I call
Interest.
it? Interest and zest, inside yourself, to be able to see, well, this is not a matter of a party, it's not a matter of individuals, this is a matter of
national
the
interest.
homeland.
Yeah.
This is the land of my country, the country of my ancestors, and the country that whatever I am, no matter how rich I am, how high I am as a professor or a scholar of this degree, ultimately, people will look at you as a Nigerian. If even you are, Chenwa Chape or Swenka, it doesn't matter. People will say, okay, he's good. But why the country is, and I don't want to say, to replicate what what Donald Trump said about this, but that is, you can say
that
has edge,
it's a shito, Yeah, Donald Trump called it a shito. It's probably right because it's what Africa portrays to the public, Nigeria portrays to the public. And we don't seem to have leaders that have, as you said, national interests. Forget about party interest. Because if you are saying, though, you need a party to get to the national level. But if you say your party for instance, collects 1 billion naira from you for you to get there, you don't just throw 1 billion naira away. You want to recoup your money, and that is where corruption starts.
Then
you see, that is where corruption starts.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you telling the party, okay, we don't need, though it might be squeaky clean, but it's very poor. We will need our money to propel it.
That's what it is.
Then the man will be, the process that will get him there would have corrupted the man in the first place.
Oh dear.
So what do you expect him to do?
So that's why
to start pleasing people that raised him there. So that's why I'm just saying we should have a workable constitution that will discourage only money bags to control maybe 80% or 90% of all the country's assets.
But look, do you think legislation, whatever you regulate this, is it really going to change anything, or it is the mentality? It is what you feel in here about your country. It's how you get motivated by people, by leadership. It's all this. How to instill these lost virtues into people's hearts. This is what you need.
How do you start that? You need to start that from the womb. You need to start that from the womb.
Yeah, difficult to say.
Yeah.
But I guess, as we say in the Sudanese way, if always able to, reproduce, is always give birth to women and men, and she is now not going to stop. So there is someone there. There is a Nigerian out of the 100 billion something Nigerians, or the 200. I don't know. There are people over there. And the mentality is going to change.
How do they get to the level where ordinary people will notice them?
The money and the corruption prevents it prevents quality from showing up.
So how do you remove that? That's what I'm just saying. It's very, very difficult.
A very difficult question, because what we're talking about is how you look at it, how you feel about it, how committed you are to your country, to yourself, to the children, your children, to the future of your nation. And this has to be the guiding sort of values to all this. How you feel about how desperate you are, wanting to change your own country and to put it in the right track. And this is something
without stepping on toes. Without stepping on toes,
you'll have to do whatever you want. You will have to do whatever legitimate and possible. And this is gonna take a lot, because there are people out there who will fight against you.
Yeah.
There are people who, worship money, status, and you see your progress. There may even be people who are out there who may envy you. You're doing the right thing for the country. But once you started, even when you started to study shape and the goods and the good elements of all that started to show up, they will say, okay, I could have done this. I will do it in a better way. You see? So there are all sort of obstacles on the way. No doubt about it.
Yeah, the obstacles on the way, the money bags that will want to stay on the ship that is moving towards disaster. But for a good man to come along, you need to offload, as it were, throw away the bad goods on the ship before you lighten the ship, before you can turn it around. But then, I will tell you, it's very, very, very difficult. As I say, to become a local councillor in Nigeria, you need about maybe 10 million. I know. I mean, where would you raise such a money? But you need to run to these money bags, and then they will say, okay, they will sponsor you. Which means in return, they might demand 20 million from you. And if you take 20 million out of your local government budget, and you can't give the reason why 20 million is missing.
So there's no hope without having to remove and eliminate that gangster mentality. There's no way. If you're going to work like a mafia, give me the money, I'll get in the position, and then...
Now, when you get there, then I'll give you your money back. That is exactly what is happening.
That is a mafia mentality.
Yeah?
Unless this is being completely eliminated.
They call it godfatherism.
Exactly. That's what it is, actually. Yeah. So, without that, they would always be very, very little hope.
So, the people will be in perpetual poverty. Poverty of the mind, poverty, because it will affect education, it will affect so many other things.
And ultimately, it will lead to even dismantling the country itself, because you cannot keep, people oppressed, impoverished, and powerless for good. They will ultimately revolt. The power of the people, you cannot be the power of the people. Because you need to reward people. People need to be rewarded and to be incentivized that I'm in a country that I'm getting something back from that country. This is the incentive. I'm working hard. The country is progressing, and I've got new roads, hospitals.
You have hope in the country. Yeah.
Yes, this is what drives people. Incentive. Material and immaterial incentivization of people. This is what motivates people. This what makes people to believe more in their country. This is what will eliminately kill that godfather-like mentality.